Lovely viewers and listeners to our channel today too. Today we are talking about the history of Ghana. We know Ghana is rich and endowed with much of ancient history, which is so lovely. Yeah. In the 1700s down to the 16, or from the 1600s down to the 1700s, we used to call Ghanaians the West African Empire, or we used to have empires here in Ghana before it was then changed into Ghana. We used to call them empires, and we had the Ashanti Empire. Ashanti Empire is one of the empires that was big and had numerous cultures which they valued. Yeah, people from the Akan ethnic group mostly have rich culture and rich wealth, and they are proud to display their wealth and their culture in and around West Africa wherever they find themselves. We have heard a lot about majority or most of the people that led the Ashanti Empire, but today we are talking about Princess Poku. Yeah, we are talking about Princess Poku. Majority of people have never heard about Princess Poku, but Princess Poku is also a Ghanaian. She is a proud Ghanaian and a Tuesday born who was born to a warrior. Yeah, she was born to a warrior. Her father is a warrior, and he has not been documented because he wasn't from a royal lineage. But she is a princess by nature or by birth because her mother is related to Osei Kofi Tutu the First. I mean, the chief or the king of the Ashanti Empire. And she was also the co-founder of the Ashanti Empire, who is Osei Kofi Tutu. The mother is by name Nyaku Kosiamwa. Yeah, that is the name of Princess Irabna Poku's mother. That is Nyaku Kosiamwa, which automatically means Princess Poku is a princess because her uncle is Osei Kofi Tutu the First. Talking about Princess Poku. Princess Poku is a proud Tuesday born, and we know Tuesday borns to be so proudful, so independent and bold, and also very, very powerful. Yeah, they can do everything on their own. That is the Tuesday borns. They also like to eat. Yeah, they also like to eat very, very much. Princess Poku was born in the 1700s, in the 1720s, in and around Kumasi. That is where she was born. Princess Poku, as she was growing up, got married, gave birth to a baby boy. But it was during this period or during this time that the empire wanted more power and more control, and therefore they were unnecessarily forcing other empires to kowtow or to bow to them and worship them. But Princess Poku saw that this was very unnecessary. It wasn't needed. Forcing people to give you power, to give you respect, to take control or to take absolute control over other people's empire was unnecessary, and therefore this processes or these things or this over unnecessary power and control in the Ashanti Empire led to disputes and led to war in and amongst the princess and her own people. And for that matter, she decided to move or to migrate from the Ashanti Empire and was heading towards the westwards of the Ashanti Kingdom, which led to the Kamwe River. On moving, she took away with her son and also a fetish priest and other willing Ashantis who were also not kowtowing to the majority in the Ashanti Empire, and therefore they also followed Princess Poku and headed westward from the Ashanti Kingdom down to the Kamwe River. On reaching the Kamwe River, they realized they weren't able to cross the river due to the crocodiles it had in the river. And therefore, since she had a fetish priest with her, she asked the fetish priest to consult with the gods and listen to what the gods had to say. And upon consulting with the gods were able to give an answer. And the answer given to Princess Poku was that Princess Poku had to sacrifice something dearly, a valuable possession she had with her, and the only valuable possession she had with her was her only son, and therefore Princess Poku had to throw her son, her only surviving son, into the river to appease the gods or to appease the crocodiles, for them to allow a thorough passage to the other end of the river so that they can enter into the modern day Cote d'Ivoire. And upon successfully journeying through the river to the other side of the river, which is now Cote d'Ivoire, they called themselves Baule, meaning child is dead. Yeah, they called themselves Baule group because Princess Poku had to sacrifice her only son to the crocodiles for them to be able to have a successful passage, because she vowed never and ever to return to the Ashanti kingdom because her people were so greedy for power and to control other empire, which she didn't like. After crossing the river, the Kaole River, to the other side of the river, which is the now Cote d'Ivoire, Princess Poku became the queen of the people of Baule. Yeah, she became the queen and ruled the people. She was known for her bravery. She was known for her courage because she was very, very courageous. And even in the Cote d'Ivoire, or even in Cote d'Ivoire, she was the only woman, and with her people, they were the only people waging war against the longest resistance to the French colonization, because it was during that time the French were colonizing people. When it comes to Ghana, the British were colonizing Ghanaians. But when she got to Cote d'Ivoire, she was able to stand, and she instilled bravery in the people and confidence in the people for them to be able to stand the longest war of the French resistance colonization, which was holding Africa and their traditional beliefs down. But since she was very brave and she was very confident, she was able to hold on and fight the French colonization, which also was able to remain consistently control their traditional beliefs and their way of life, and it has become their culture until date. And this tribe, or when I say this tribe, I mean the Kaole tribe. The Baule tribe has become one of the biggest Cote d'Ivoire tribes. Yeah, until date. So if you go to Cote d'Ivoire as it stands now and you ask on the Baule people, they are one of the tribes that is big and great in Cote d'Ivoire. And since they have lost their language, they began to speak the French language, and automatically the name Irabna Poku has automatically changed from Irabna Poku to Aura Poku or Aura Poku or Abla Poku. Yeah, so if you go to Cote d'Ivoire, you wouldn't hear of Irabna Poku or Princess Irabna Poku, but all you know is Aura Poku or Abla Poku, yeah, which is the most popular of the two. Yeah, that is Aura Poku. And a history writer, or an Ivorian writer by name Veronique Tajo, was able to write about our dear Princess Poku. Yeah, he wrote everything about the woman, the story about Princess Poku, and until now, it has been able to win the Grand Prix Literature d'Afrique Noire. Yeah, it has been able to win more and more awards, and she is now being studied in and around Cote d'Ivoire in various schools, and it's just recently it has been translated into English, and that is how come we were able to chance upon it for Ghanaians to also know that there is somebody, or there was someone called Princess Poku, who was a Ghanaian, but due to power, fame that the Ashanti Empire chief and the kings were trying to trample upon or trying to gain through war, she didn't like it and therefore vowed never and ever to remain in Ashanti kingdom, and therefore moved into the Cote d'Ivoire. She ruled as a queen until she died in the 1760s. Yeah, but before dying, she was able to expand her kingdom and make her people successful farmers and traders, amassing wealth for themselves. So when you go to Cote d'Ivoire, the Baule tribe are people who have money, who have wealth, because their survival or their way of living is mainly farming and also mainly trading, and therefore they are very, very rich. Yeah, and that is with our dear Princess Poku is a Ghanaian whom because of trade, or whom because of war and power, she was able to denounce her own people, take along with her a fetish priest, and moved to Cote d'Ivoire, settled there, and never and ever returned. And therefore, that is it for today. Today we studied about, or we learned about Princess Poku, a brave and confident and courageous princess who was born in Ashanti, but now a Baule tribe person in the Cote d'Ivoire. May her soul continue to rest in peace. Today, this is where we end our lesson, and I'll urge you to keep tuned or stay tuned with us, because we'll be learning more about the history of Ghana. I've signed out.